Welcome to Life Stories, where the people you trust most can sometimes be the ones who cut you the deepest. Imagine dedicating your entire life to someone, sacrificing time, money, even your own dreams, only to be told, to your face, that you're no longer welcome. Not at their wedding, not in their life, not even in the room. This isn't a story about betrayal. It's a story about waking up, about what happens when a lifetime of silent loyalty collides with a single moment of devastating truth. And just when you think you've reached the worst part, just when you believe the damage is final, everything shifts, because the biggest twist, it's not what they did to her, it's what she chose to do next. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear might just change how you see family forever. Now, let me tell you about Erin Walker. Erin Walker was the kind of woman who didn't miss birthdays, always had backup batteries in her drawer, and could recite her sister's food allergies faster than her own social security number. At 32, she lived in a sleek Seattle high-rise, managing wealth portfolios for the elite. But the only account that truly mattered to her was emotional, her sister Kayla's happiness. To the outside world, the Walkers were enviably close. Growing up in a modest suburb just outside Tacoma, Erin and Kayla had shared bunk beds, broken hearts, and a secret language made of inside jokes and sideways glances. Their mother Diane, meticulous to a fault, ruled the household with manicured hands and a soft voice that cut deeper than a blade. Their father, Richard, existed like background music, pleasant, forgettable, and always turned down low. Erin had always been the fixer, the protector. When Kayla wanted to study art history in New York and their parents refused to cover tuition, Erin quietly drained half her savings to make it happen. She never told anyone. That's just who she was. So when Kayla got engaged to Logan, a software engineer with poet's eyes and a trust fund Erin had no intention of asking about, Erin cried. Joyfully. And when Kayla asked her to be maid of honor, Erin said yes before the words were fully out. The planning consumed them. Pinterest boards, swatches, Zoom calls with florists. Erin handled logistics like a symphony conductor. But a shadow began creeping in early, so subtle it was easy to dismiss. It started with the venue. "I already booked Ashford Hall," Diane announced over brunch, sliding a leather folder across the table like a power move. "They had one date open this summer. We're lucky." Kayla blinked. "Mom, Erin and I were still looking at places." Diane waved a hand. "Darling, you'll thank me. It's perfect. I always imagined your wedding there." Erin smiled tightly, her fork hovering midair. A month ago, she and Kayla had laughed over rooftop gardens and food trucks. Ashford Hall was elegant, yes, but cold. Impersonal. But Erin didn't argue. Not then. The dismissals came like water dripping into a sink. Constant, quiet, easy to ignore until it flooded everything. The florist she booked, replaced. The photographer Kayla adored but Diane deemed too artistic. Gone. A distant cousin, Lauren, who once tried to sell Kayla essential oils at a funeral, suddenly appeared in bridal photos on Instagram helping choose centerpieces. Erin hadn't even known there was a meeting. When she mentioned it gently to Kayla, her sister shrugged. "Lauren just has more time right now. You've been swamped with work." It stung. Maybe she had been too busy. Maybe she was imagining things. Maybe. Then came the silence. Invitations to planning events vanished. Texts went unanswered. Calls returned with delays. Still, Erin clung to her belief in sisterhood like a lifeboat. She kept paying deposits, bought designer robes for the bridesmaids, secretly booked a honeymoon to Santorini, first-class private villa, everything. The Sunday before the final dress fitting, Erin's co-worker Madison asked offhandedly, "Did Kayla love the Vera Wang?" Sandra said she found her dream dress in like 10 minutes. Erin froze. "She already went?" Madison tilted her head. "Yeah, yesterday, with your mom and cousin, champagne, the whole thing. I just assumed you were there." Erin walked straight into the bathroom and vomited. That night, she called Kayla. "You went dress shopping?" "It wasn't planned," Kayla said too quickly. "Just a preliminary visit. Lauren was free and... You didn't think to call me?" Silence. "Don't make this a big thing, Erin. It's just a dress." But it wasn't just a dress. It was 1,000 little betrayals sewn into satin. Still, Erin stayed silent, until the night of the talk. Kayla asked her to come to their parents' house. Let's clear the air, she'd said. Erin rehearsed every word in her car before stepping inside. The living room looked staged, Diane behind Kayla like a puppet master, Richard sunken into his chair, Lauren perched where Erin used to sit. "We've talked," Diane said without preamble, "and we've decided your involvement in the wedding is problematic." Erin blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "You make everything about you," Diane continued. "Your money, your opinions, it's created tension." Erin turned to Kayla. "Is that how you feel?" Kayla opened her mouth, closed it, looked at the floor, said nothing. "We all agreed," Diane said. "You're not welcome at the wedding, not as maid of honor, not as a guest." For a moment, Erin felt weightless, as if the room, the house, the people had all fallen away. She stood. "When was this decided?" "Weeks ago," Diane said. "Lauren's already stepping in." Erin looked at her father. "Dad," he looked at the carpet, said nothing. Something in Erin shattered then, not her heart that had already fractured weeks ago. It was her hope, her need for them to be better, her delusion that love was enough. She walked out, but not before canceling the Santorini honeymoon. The next morning, Kayla texted, "I'm so sorry, please call me. Mom's been lying to me. I need you." And just like that, Erin realized she wasn't the only one manipulated. Have you ever trusted someone so deeply only to realize they were rewriting your story behind your back? What would you do if your own family cast you as the villain in a narrative you didn't write? Because what Erin uncovers next won't just unravel the wedding. It will expose a truth so calculated, so cruel, it will change everything about who she believes she is. Erin didn't respond to Kayla's message for 12 hours. She read it again and again, each time with a different reaction. The first time, she cried. The second time, she laughed bitterly. The third, she just stared, numb, empty, confused. The words rang hollow, yet impossibly heavy. After everything, after sitting silent while Erin was exiled, after allowing Lauren to take her place in photos and plans in life, now Kayla was asking for her. Erin finally called the next morning. Kayla picked up on the first ring. "Erin, You said Mom's been lying to you," Erin interrupted. "I need to know what you mean. Be specific." There was a pause. Then, "Can you come over, please? Just us." Against her better judgment, Erin said yes. Logan opened the door. His face looked like he hadn't slept. "Thank God you came. She's in the bedroom. I'll give you 2 space." The apartment was dimly lit, full of unpacked boxes, fabric swatches, and a half-eaten cupcake tower. The place where Joy should have lived was cluttered with doubt. Erin stepped into the bedroom and saw her sister, her mirror in softer lines, sitting on the edge of the bed, eyes rimmed red. "I didn't know," Kayla whispered. "I swear to you, Erin. Mom, she showed me texts, from you, ones I never wrote, said you were too busy, that you didn't care. She even—" "What?" Erin's voice was low, cold. "She changed the contact in my phone, replaced your number with hers. When I thought I was texting you, I was texting her." A beat, then another. "She deleted things, real messages, made it look like you were flaking out. She even showed me bank charges you made, saying you were keeping receipts to guilt-trip me." Erin felt her stomach turn. "You believed her," she said, not as an accusation, but a grieving observation. "I did," Kayla whispered. "And that's the part I'll regret the rest of my life." Silence folded over them like a heavy blanket. Then Kayla reached behind her and held out a worn leather photo album. "Do you remember this?" Erin's breath caught. The sisters had made it together when Kayla was 12, filled with Polaroids, magazine cutouts, dream vacations. One page read in glitter pen. "Erin will be my maid of honor, no matter what." "I found this yesterday," Kayla said. "And I broke." Erin looked down at her sister, her whole body aching with something beyond pain. A mourning for the time they'd lost, the lies they'd believed, the love that had been hijacked. "Why did she do it, Kayla?" Erin asked finally. "What could possibly make a mother sabotage her own daughters?" Kayla hesitated. I think she was afraid of being left behind, of not being needed, of you, your success, your stability. Maybe she couldn't control you anymore, so she tried to erase you." The words landed like ice water. "She made you the villain," Kayla added, "and I helped her." It wasn't a perfect apology. It wasn't enough. But it was real. "I'm not coming back for the wedding," Erin said after a long pause. Not yet. I'm not ready to stand in that room and pretend everything's fine, because it's not. I understand. But I will help you fix this, for you, not for her. They sat in silence again, this time not as strangers but as sisters, survivors of a quiet war neither of them had fully understood until now. As Aaron got up to leave, Logan met her in the hallway. "Aaron," he said, glancing behind him to make sure Kayla couldn't hear. "There's something else. I think you need to see this." He handed her a flash drive. "What is it?" "Security footage, from the bridal boutique, from when Kayla went dress shopping. Your mom didn't know they had cameras in the VIP suite." "Why would that matter?" Logan looked grim. "Because it shows Diane asking the staff to erase your name from the guest list, says you're unstable, tells them if anyone asks to say you declined the invite." Aaron froze. Logan stepped closer. "She's not just manipulative. She's been deliberately damaging your reputation. That boutique is owned by one of our clients. What if this had gotten to your work?" Aaron's mind spun. Her chest tightened. "She's trying to destroy me," Aaron said quietly. "No," Logan replied. "She's trying to control you, but that only works if you let her." Aaron walked out into the Seattle drizzle, the flash drive burning cold in her palm. Every raindrop felt sharper now. The fog she'd lived in for years had cleared, and the storm that replaced it was real, violent, and necessary. What do you do when the person who raised you turns out to be the architect of your undoing? Have you ever had to protect yourself from someone you once trusted with your whole heart? Because Erin's next move won't just change her future, it will finally expose a past that no one was ever supposed to uncover. And in part 3, the reckoning begins. Erin stood at the head of the long table, her hands trembling slightly above the flash drive now plugged into her laptop. Around her, the room was uncomfortably quiet. Her father Richard sat across from her, pale and distant. Kayla and Logan flanked the far side, their fingers laced together like a fragile truce. And Diane, their mother, sat perfectly still near the window, her lips pressed into a line so tight it looked carved in stone. "I didn't come here for revenge," Erin began, her voice steady despite the storm she felt inside. "But I won't allow silence to protect what's broken anymore." She pressed play. The screen lit up with the muted footage from the boutique. Diane in a tailored trench coat, whispering to the boutique manager, her smile sugar-coated venom. "She's not well," Diane said, her voice faint through the surveillance mic. "If she shows up, call me. Don't let her in. Tell her the fitting was rescheduled." Kayla gasped softly. Richard looked down. "I was never invited," Erin said flatly, hitting pause. She made sure of that. Diane didn't flinch. "You're being dramatic." "No," Kayla said quietly. "She's being honest." Erin turned the laptop toward her father. "Dad, you saw this happening. Maybe not all of it, but you saw how she talked about me, how she twisted things." "I didn't want to believe it," he whispered. "I thought if I stayed neutral, it would protect you both." "That's the thing," Erin replied, her voice breaking just slightly. "Your silence didn't protect us, it protected her." There it was. The truth, raw, undeniable. "I'm not here to ask for an apology," Erin said, facing her mother now, "because I know you won't give one. Not a real one. You've built your entire world around being right, even when it means rewriting reality." Diane blinked. "Everything I did for this family." "No," Erin said, "you did it for control, and you lost it when I stopped needing you." A silence settled, dense and unbreathable. Then Diane stood. "I won't be vilified in my own home." "No," Erin replied calmly, "you'll just finally be seen for who you really are." She unplugged the flash drive. "I'm not cutting ties. But I am drawing lines. I'm done letting your need to be the sun pull everything else into orbit. You want to be part of my life? You'll respect my boundaries, and if that's too hard for you, then maybe distance is healthier for both of us." Diane said nothing, but for the first time in Erin's life, her mother looked small, not fragile, just human, fallible, stripped of performance. Erin left without hugging anyone. Outside, the wind was sharp, the sky a silvery ache above Seattle's skyline. Kayla followed her out. "I don't deserve forgiveness," she said, her voice cracking. "No, you don't," Erin replied and then paused. "But you still have it." Kayla's tears spilled freely. "I'm so sorry, for everything." "I know," Erin said, drawing her sister into a tight embrace. We both got lost in her storm, but we found each other again. That's what matters. They held on for a long moment. A memory surfaced. Kayla at 8, crying over a scraped knee. Aaron carrying her home piggyback, while Diane scolded them both for ruining dinner. Some wounds run deep, others become maps. The wedding was smaller than planned. They moved the venue from Ashford Hall to a sunlit garden just outside the city. Intimate, honest, real. Aaron stood at Kayla's side as maid of honor. No matching gowns, no rigid speeches, just a sister holding space for another. Diane didn't attend. She sent a gift and a handwritten letter. It said nothing of substance, just a few lines about wishing them well and hoping someday they'd understand her choices. Aaron never responded. 2 months later, Richard left Diane, quietly, without ceremony. "I'm tired of apologizing with silence," he told Aaron over coffee one Saturday morning. "I want to build something real for whatever time I have left." Aaron hugged him then. For the first time in years, it didn't feel like obligation. Her own life settled into a rhythm, both unfamiliar and healing. Therapy, boundaries, the absence of crisis. She started painting again, something she hadn't touched since college. Abstract landscapes, fractured, moody, beautiful in their chaos. On her birthday, Kayla gave her a framed photo. It was old, taken the summer they built the photo album. Both girls smiling, freckles and frizzy hair, arms slung around each other like armor. "I want her back," Kayla whispered. "The you from that day." Aaron smiled gently. She never left, she just got buried under too much weight. They sat together that afternoon, barefoot on the balcony, drinking wine and watching the sky shift from gold to bruised blue. No makeup, no performance, just presence. "I'm pregnant," Kayla said softly. Aaron turned, startled. "What?" Kayla laughed through her tears. "You're going to be an aunt." Aaron didn't respond at first. She was too full. Of emotion, of memory, of a kind of peace she didn't trust yet, but hoped to grow into. She reached for Kayla's hand and held it tightly. "I'm here," she said. "This time I'm really here." And she meant it. What part of Aaron's journey moved you the most? What would you have done differently if you were in her shoes? Comment 100 if you loved this story. Tell us, where in the world are you watching from? And don't forget to share the story with someone who needs it. Thanks for watching Life Stories.